Press reviewer Nicholas Rushworth. Nicholas, not quite such scenes here in France, but you're going to start with Libération and François Hollande, who's on the front page today.
Well, we don't have brawling like that in Ukraine, but we have a bit of social conflict, tension between unions and management in various companies. There on the front page of Libération, we can see the headline, Ce que peut faire la gauche, what can the left do? What is the left doing? Dealing with what is seen now as a series of layoffs, restructuring plans are being announced. They've been blocked perhaps because of the presidential campaign. But now the latest in a series is from Air France, which yesterday said that it was dealing with overstaffing. It'll announce the details late next month. Jobs will go, and the goal is basically for to redirect, get into a more low-cost side of the business. Mm-hmm. Now, what is the left wing doing? Well, in that article, the details are not that clear. It's basically saying the government plans to talk with all these firms that are in difficulty, and it wants to develop a coordination unit which will track those problems, but also predict them. So actually look at companies that could be in trouble, which is a bit ambitious.
Mm-hmm, perhaps. Well, meanwhile, the Catholic daily, La Croix, they've been looking at the details of that restructuring that could be happening at Air France.
Well, the details are specifically a tripling of the fleet of Transavia, which is the low-cost airline. A quarter of the planes in the main Air France fleet will go. There you can see that story there. And the goal is to save €2 billion in 3 years. The Air France CEO, Alexandre de Juniac, has no figures on the job losses, as I said, as yet. But La Croix in that article is saying that there will be layoffs of around 800 a year.
And this is big news here in France. It's also headline news in Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France as well this Friday.
Well, look at this piece. It's a jackpot for a former Air France boss. That's in Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France. And that man there in the photo there you can see is Pierre-Henri Gorgeon. He left the job as CEO last October, and he could be about to get a €400,000 bonus. Now, the unions, of course, are saying that's not acceptable. There's been a pay freeze at Air France since January. So the current CEO, Alexandre de Juniac, as I said, he's quoted in that piece there as saying, oh, this bonus, it's legal. Wow. So that's the
Perhaps
2 words.
Tensions to come over that as well. We're going to go back to Libération now because they're reporting on a scrap at the top in the opposition party now, the UMP.
The paper in its inside pages is reporting war on the right, and this is a scrap that's come out in the now opposition UMP, and that's between the former Prime Minister François Fillon, who we can see just in the background, and in the foreground we can see Jean-François Copé, who is the current party leader. Now, massive power vacuum to fill with the departure of Nicolas Sarkozy. He's gone very quickly, and the battle is over who will be elected in November to be party leader. And of course, that is not good for the party because we're still in election season. We've got the 3rd round of the presidential vote, as it's called, with the legislative elections next month. So, of course, that's not going down well with the party faithful. Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France is also looking at that story, and it's saying that Fillon, in announcing that he wants to be party leader at this point, is making a calculated move. There you can see the headline, Les petits calculs de Fillon. And that piece is saying, well, what's up with Fillon? What's bitten him? It's like something's drove him crazy. What interest could he possibly have in making this move? Now, that paper is saying, well, could this be Sarkozy's fault? Did Sarkozy leave the scene too quickly? There are these Fillon, Copé, and so on. Are they orphans of Sarkozy? I thought that was quite an amusing thing. Another quote in that piece there is the Copé camp is saying that if Fillon's move has a negative impact next month, if the UMP does not get those seats, then Fillon will be the one to bear the responsibility. And of course, that means that Copé will vie to stay party leader.
OK, it's all tough at the top at the moment in the UMP. Thanks very much indeed, Nicholas, for that look at today's newspapers here in France. Let's get a reminder now of our headlines this hour here on France 24. French President François Hollande has arrived